Hello everybody, we are here with Crystal L. Bass. I understand you are from the Baltimore area. You are an acclaimed author, freelance writer, CEO, and motivational speaker. You have a brand new book titled Dark Clouds, A Charmed City Struggle. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you have a lot of things going on. How do you balance it all?
It's not easy, and I balance it all with no rest and no sleep. But I figure I can sleep when I'm dead, so right now I'm just pushing forward and trying to make everything happen at one time. All of my dreams, even though I know Rome was not built in a day, I want to make everything happen.
There you go. Can you tell us a little bit more about your book? I mean, the cover is very vivid, very descriptive. What does it all mean?
Well, we have a lot of things going on there. And the biggest thing about it is that I did a lot of research just to see what old school things were and what we needed to bring back in literature. And the biggest thing is that, I don't know if you can tell, but it is a mosaic. So that is hundreds of pieces, thousands of pieces of magazines that are all put together. It's a Romare Bearden style, old school style. You know, right. I didn't want a cover where you're just going to see a woman there with baby old legs and doing a nice sexy pose. So this is a family struggle. So it's an illustration of a family struggle, and as you see those dark clouds, this is just depicts what's going to go on in the story. Yeah,
it's looming over the entire...
Yes.
So do you feel a lot of people, especially like young teens, can really relate to the story?
Yes, certainly. A lot of people, I've been getting so much feedback, and if anyone gets a chance, by all means, go on Amazon and read the reviews, but people can certainly relate to the story. And a big thing in the story is that I'm giving young women especially permission to speak up, permission to take control of their own lives. You are never too young to control your own destiny. So that's the big theme in the story.
So on the topic of young women, what's, I guess, the biggest message for young women in the book?
That's the big message. I mean, this is a book that's centered around abuse. And you know, a lot of people are abused. I went through a process of writing this book because I was sitting in a hair salon. My sister does hair for years. I was sitting in a hair salon and hear all these women talking about all these stories that they didn't discuss until they were adults. And so this gives you permission to talk about it before you're an adult.
Right.
You know, there is help. There are counselors at schools. I mean, this is the type of thing that I just want the message to get out, that we, no matter how old we are, we can be a victor and not a victim.
That's good because, I mean, a lot of kids, especially our age, don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, it's hard to really open up, especially when you're being judged by your peers and things like that. So that's amazing. That's great. So what was the process like in creating your book?
Well, it was a very long process, and it was not easy. I will not say it was easy. But I started writing the book just because I felt like it was some kind of healing for myself. So I would start writing, put it under the bed, start writing, put it under the bed, you know, that kind of thing. But like I said, when I would go out and hear all these women talking about their stories, it just propelled me to want to do it. Now, in the course of going to school, being a mother, leaving here, going to LA, doing other things, it was kind of put on the back burner. When I came back to Baltimore, I went back to school and I used what I already had as a short story for a project. And then I had a professor who really pushed and encouraged me to finish it because he felt that it was good and it was a great story to tell.
You said you put it on the back burner, so was it, like, how long, like, did you initially always want to write this book, or was there something else that you wanted to do before that, before writing, I guess?
I don't know that I always wanted to write the book. I always wanted to write. I was doing some theater, doing some acting, and in between I was writing at the same time. So I would watch theater, watch movies, and all that kind of thing and think, hey, I can do that, and I can write that. And since I was about in the 3rd grade, you know, people always told me that I was such a good writer, such a good writer. And initially, you know, I didn't pay attention to the writing part. I wanted to do theater. I did that all through high school and college. I danced, did theater, and I thought I would be a pediatrician. And for those who read the book, you'll see the dedication to my dad is just saying to him that I hope he's still proud of me in spite of me not being a pediatrician now.
So you made the jump. You're not a pediatrician. You're obviously actor, a whole bunch of different things in the entertainment industry. I mean, it's awesome. You went to California. What was the motivation behind that?
Well, I was offered a job to come to California and finish working on Enemy of the State. That was filmed here in 1998. And so I was offered a position there. So I just picked up, left, and went. And from there, I just started working there. And I worked there in the business for about 5 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
It was very nice.
And then I guess, when did you start your publication? You have your own publication.
Yes.
When did you start that? And what was the motivation behind starting that? Why did you want to get out there? And
Well, I started it with Dark Clouds. When I bought that out, I decided to release it under my own company because working in California for so long and working so much on behind the scenes, you know, choreography, everything, I just felt like I wanted to do my project my way. So I decided to release it myself. It will be a play in the future. It will be a movie in the future. And I want to do it my way. So I just didn't want any publisher telling me what to do and how to do it. Edit this, edit that, take this out, take that out. I just want to do it my own way with the experience that I've gained.
That's great. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So I guess, would you consider Baltimore your source of inspiration?
I would, especially for this book. I mean, Baltimore is, of course, it's very near and dear to me.
Yeah.
And I would like to change some of the culture here one by one. I know I can't do it all, but I say in a lot of my interviews that Baltimore went from the city that reads to the city that bleeds. So I just really, really, really am big on giving back here first. And then I could filter out into the rest of the world later. But right here, Baltimore is my focus. There's a lot of things I want to do in the inner city with the youth. I'm putting together some programs right now for those who haven't read the book or will read the book. These kids are called, the 4 kids are called Precious Gems. So I do have Precious Gem workshops in the works, and where it will teach young ladies how to carry themselves and not to be promiscuous and not to use drugs. And like I said before, speak up if something is happening that's wrong, and learning just how to be victorious and not being a victim all the time. So different things like that are in the works.
That's huge. That's really good. So you have a sequel, or you're thinking about a sequel.
Yes.
Can you give us any insight on the sequel, or?
Well, I can. The sequel is by popular demand. People are saying that they were fulfilled and they were satisfied, but I kind of left them hanging. And that was intentional. I mean, I kind of left a cliffhanger because I want to build a fan base where they're waiting for the next thing to come out. So the sequel is, of course, it's going to be a continuation of this, and it's going to be very nice.
Nice. Cool.
So I'm excited about it.
Very cool.
The biggest challenge is just finding time to finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you have a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
So my last question is, with the new era, the new technology era, how does that affect you with the Kindle, the iPad? Are you going to eventually make your way into getting onto these certain new devices, or?
I am working on that now. However, I do like having something tangible in my hand.
Yeah.
The legacy that I build, I would like to be able to have something in print on paper that I can hand down to my children, well, one child, but grandchildren. I would like to just have, I'm old school, and I would always like to have a tangible book in my hand.
Exactly.
But I am open to being, you know, people are asking, and we're moving in a direction as well.
Yeah, I mean, because the focus of the book is obviously the younger generation.
Well, it's for the whole family.
Yeah.
It's a family
Okay, cool.
novel. So
Awesome.
Speaking on that note of it being for the whole family, this book does contain profanity, but there's a second edition that's coming out with no profanity that will be targeted to younger than teens.
Okay.
Teens can read this now. It's nothing that a teen can't read, but I also want to get younger girls to read it as well.
Yeah,
so
it's
there will be a
important.
second edition coming soon.
So where can we find more information about your publication, and where can your fans buy the book?
Well, you can find more information on the website, of course, at www.crystalclearpublications. You can follow me on Twitter, Crystal Clear Pub. You can find the fan page on Facebook. It's Dark Clouds fan page. And you can also find information about me or videos on YouTube. But I do want to say one thing, that everyone here will be getting a surprise, a free copy of the book. Compliments of Dr. Chris.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Very excited to sign a few copies.
Awesome. And thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate it, you coming in.
Certainly. And don't forget, anyone looking to purchase the book can purchase directly off of the website or on Amazon.com.
Perfect. All right. Remember, www.crystalclearpublications.com. Thank you for being here today. That's all we have.